early mobile games weren't great when it comes to graphics. You may remember games like Snake, Doodle Jump, Fruit Ninja, and Angry Birds as the pinnacle of early mobile gaming. However, the times had changed. We now have plenty of games with excellent graphics. These games don't provide the kinds of 3D experiences you get in an IMAX theater with 3D glasses. However, developers now use 3D graphics and environments to give players better immersion than ever before in mobile games. Here are the best 3D games with such graphics for your eyes to enjoy. Gameloft's Asphalt series contains some of the most iconic racing games on mobile. However, the games are also known for their hefty and aggressive microtransaction strategies. Still, Asphalt 9 Legends is among the most beautiful games on mobile with 3D graphics, and it even uses some HDR techniques to get even deeper colors. The game features 60 cars to collect, an absolute ton of races to play through, an online PvP element, and decent controls. The controls aren't as granular as previous generations, but this is an arcade racer, not a car sim, so it's acceptable. There are a number of decent MMORPGs for mobile. Black Desert Mobile is among them. The game contains 5 classes, a metric boatload of quests and missions, and a surprisingly good character customization tool, and no, not just for a mobile game. The graphics are among the best in the genre, and you'll definitely appreciate your phone's screen prowess with this one. There are also modern features like autoplay for help with things like grinding. Call of Duty Mobile launched in 2019 to massive success. It's a FPS game with all kinds of game modes, including a 100-player battle royale, a zombie mode, classic PvP deathmatches, and a lot more. The game's in-app purchases are almost entirely cosmetic, so the game itself is free to play. Some other features include above-average graphics for a shooter, clans for social gaming, and various other game modes. This is easily among the best FPS games ever released for mobile. Unkilled and Shadowgun Legends by Madvenger Games are also excellent FPS games with excellent graphics. FIFA Soccer is one of the most popular sports games on mobile, and it also has some of the best graphics in the genre. Players build a team, compete against other players, and try to improve their team as they go. The game revolves around this core premise with support for over 30 leagues, with all of the players who play in them. It is, at its core, a management sim for a soccer team, but you do actually get to play soccer games as well. It looks quite good, and a lot of people enjoy the game. The microtransactions could be better, though, and there is an element of pay to win with this one. Genshin Impact is an action RPG with gacha elements. It features a bright, massive world that players can roam around in. There are tons of quests, fun characters to summon, and plenty of other things to do. The graphics are part of what makes this game so good. The expansive world is well detailed, and there are several different environments. In addition, the developers have done a good job continually expanding the game to include more and more places. You won't finish this one anytime soon, and it's a delightful game to look at. Grid Autosport is one of the newer racing games, and easily one of the best over the last couple of years. It features excellent 3D graphics, reasonably realistic physics, and plenty of content for racing fans. The game boasts over 100 unlockable cars, over 100 circuits to race through, scalable difficulty to keep the challenge alive, and support for external game controllers. Asphalt 9 Legends and Riptide GP Renegade are 2 more excellent mobile racers, and Mario Kart Tour is a fun game as well, but Grid Autosport feels like a console game, while the others feel like mobile games. Lumino City is a puzzle game from Noodlecake Studios. This one is unique. The developers filmed real-life items and used it in the game. Thus, the graphics are actually real-life. The story takes about 8 to 10 hours to complete. Otherwise, you just engage with the world and solve the puzzles to progress. It's truly one of the greatest 3D games out there. Minecraft is one of the most popular 3D games available. Most people know how this game works. You have a randomly generated world to explore and build. There are a ton of items to craft, online multiplayer, and a lot more. Updates in September 2017 allow mobile players to play with PC and console players as well. The number of things you can do is virtually limitless, and you can play with your friends or strangers if you want. Monument Valley 2 is one of the best puzzle games available. It's also a great 3D game. It uses Escher-style level design and puzzles. Players need to rotate, move, or otherwise mess with levels in order to proceed. The game is rather short, but entertaining. It's also beautifully done. The first Monument Valley game is also quite good and fairly priced. Those looking for huge games may be disappointed, though. This is definitely a quick play and an enjoyable one. It's also free with Google Play Pass if you use it. Riptide GP. Renegade is the latest game in the Riptide GP series. It's a series of racing games with jet skis instead of cars. The game features a deep campaign mode with an actual storyline. In addition, there are various wave runners to unlock, an online multiplayer mode, and Google Play game support for achievements and leaderboards. There is even some vehicle customization available. The game runs for $2.99 with no in-app purchases, or you can grab it free with Google Play Pass. Sky. Children of Light is an adorable little game with some pretty decent graphics. You roam around the world and solve puzzles to progress the story. The game is online and multiplayer, but it's cooperative. Other players can walk up, grab your hand, and walk with you throughout the whole game. The non-competitive nature, calming graphics, and simple gameplay make this a difficult game to dislike. There are 7 realms to explore, many puzzles to solve, and some very good story elements. This is one of the better mobile games, and it looks good too. Tower of Fantasy is an action RPG with gacha elements. It competes with Genshin Impact, but features more of an MMORPG feel than its competitor. Players summon characters, roam around the large open world, and progress through the story. There are also a ton of side quests and other little things that you can do. Some other game features include social elements like a cooperative mode, decent combat mechanics, and plenty of places to go exploring. We personally like Genshin Impact better, but we understand why some of our readers may not agree. Trials of Mana is an action RPG from Square Enix. The gameplay loop is pretty typical. You assemble a team of characters, progress through the story, and take down the big bad guy at the end. However, Square Enix has been doing this for decades, and the studio is pretty good at it. The graphics are good and blend together well with the art style and soundtrack. This port of the game is actually quite good, and better than the Switch version to some people. Square Enix also has Adventures of Mana on mobile, and it has 3D graphics as well. However, both games are pretty expensive, so we'll recommend Trials of Mana first. XCOM 2 Collection is one of the more graphically intensive games on Android. It's a turn-based strategy game where you move your troops around the map and take down the enemies before they do the same to you. The game uses procedural generation to randomize maps and objectives, so it'll be a while before you run into the same scenario twice. As you progress, you improve your troops, unlock things, and get customizations for your squad. The game costs $19.99, which seems like a lot. However, this version of the game comes with all 4 DLC packs from the original XCOM 2, so you don't have to pay any extra for the full game experience. Thanks for watching, and I hope this video was helpful.